What if Naruto had his parents' knowledge and experience? Part 3. Disclaimer: I don't tone Naruto nor this fanfic. Warning: get ready for heavy sexual content. Naruto punishes Team 7 and starts training them. Naruto looked Izuna's face as he opened the door. The old man looked a little pale and maybe a bit afraid. Can I help you? Do you need an escort? Naruto asked seriously. No, number. We heard someone scream a while ago and wanted to know if everything is okay. Also, my daughter made dinner and you guys are invited. Naruto had to give the old man props that he wasn't as afraid as Naruto thought. Everything is alright. I just disciplined a boy who went against my orders. I'm sorry that you heard it and I will make sure that doesn't happen again. We will be joining dinner from tomorrow, Naruto said and closed the door before Izuna could speak again. I'm hungry, Shikamaru said from the bed, still trying to find a position that was not his ass. I have food here and didn't want to interrupt our talk, Naruto said. He rolled his sleeve up and exposed tattoos covering the entire forearm. He made a 2-finger sign and a box came out. He repeated the action to get a second one. Opening the box was a small lunch packed with rice, beef and soup. What fascinated Shikamaru thought was that it was still hot. Normally if you seal food away then the time still flows and the food gets cold and old. Naruto must use some kind of stasis seal. This would be revolutionary for high-ranking escort missions. They always had to send a local cook with ninjas, because the nobles didn't eat something normal. The cook wasn't just one civilian more to protect, but he also brought a lot supplies for his job. They could reduce the risk and time for the mission, as one civilian would fall away. It also would reduce the cost they needed to pay the cook for the long mission. They talked a while over the possibilities of seals and what they could do to improve basic mission. It was getting late and Shikamaru was getting sleepy. We should sleep. Get comfortable. I will sleep on the floor, Naruto said, getting up from the bed. Don't be ridiculous. We fit in the bed before. Move your ass up here and lie down, Shikamaru said and moved to the other side to make room for Naruto. The other boy just wordlessly moved besides him. Shikamaru thought about his decision, because it seemed that the bed wasn't as big as he thought. He was close to fall off the bed and just hoped that he didn't move while he slept. Shikamaru felt warm. It was a pleasant feeling and he moved closer to the source to get more. It was like his back was pressed against a heater. Suddenly something wrapped around his waist and stomach. Thought the thing that wrapped around it had the same pleasantly warm feeling. This was a state he could get used to. After 20 minutes of enjoying the feeling, he felt a new one on his neck. It was hot and wet. He instantly realized that it was someone's breath. He slowly opened his eyes and looked over his shoulder. As predicted, there was Naruto lying behind him with his arm around his waist. He tried to free himself, but that made Naruto to only tighten his hold on him. Shikamaru sighed and let the other boy use him as a hugging pillow. At least it felt nice, and after 10 minutes or so, Naruto woke up. Ah, sorry, Naruto sheepishly said as he laughed a bit. It's no problem. Nobody got hurt and you are warm, Shikamaru said and blushed when he realized that he had said it out loud. Thanks, Naruto muttered with a small blush. He went to the sink and washed his face. I will check on the others and will wait for you downstairs. Shikamaru just nodded as he left. Naruto knocked and waited for permission before he went in. Coming in, he could see Sasuke and Sakura still in their beds, but Kakashi was already awake. Good morning, Kakashi replied. Did they finish yesterday? Naruto asked. Kakashi just pointed at 2 sheets on the table and Naruto took it. Reading it, he really wanted to punch Kakashi. This were solutions, but it was sloppy and mostly without even some of the most basic knowledge. This guy will be the death of many if they let them move around like this. Wake them up and we will meet downstairs to discuss the mission, Naruto said, leaving. He moved down and started to make breakfast for them all. After 5 minutes, Shikamaru made his way down, hissing with each stair he took, and Naruto couldn't help but smirk a little. How is it going? He asked with a small laugh. Shut up. I'm still mad at you. What kind of friend does something so embarrassing to his friend? Shikamaru said with a glare. Don't be like that. I couldn't beat the shit out of you, so I settled for the next possible option. Also, didn't you say that I shouldn't beat myself up over this? I meant the damage and not the embarrassing position you put me through, Shikamaru replied, but stopped when he saw Naruto's smiling face. Of course the guy knew exactly what he meant. He just loved to tease him. He wanted to give a sharp comment, but stopped when he saw Tizuna and his family coming out of their rooms. The kid glared at them as he sat down by the table. "Oh, you didn't had to do breakfast," Tizuna's daughter said. "It's Namikaze and it's no problem. It's a way to apologize for our unprofessional behavior yesterday," Naruto said with a smile. As he made tea from Kirigakure, he had to say the village was beautiful and that even in a civil war. He moved to the stove to check on the pork and the miso soup. It was finished and he made 8 plates with rice and pork, as 8 bowls with miso soup. He brought them to the table and saw that Kakashi and his 2 students had come down. "Your answers are acceptable, so don't worry." He didn't had to tell them twice, as they stuffed the food down as fast as they could. "So Tizuna-san, what is your plan for the day?" Shikamaru asked, as nobody was saying something. "Not much today. I will have to organize a few workers, so the real work will start tomorrow or the day after," Tizuna answered. "Then Kakashi-san will start training his Jinin team. You are probably the weakest team in Konoha right now," Naruto stated, and the entire team plus Sensei looked outright insulted. "Baka. Sasuke is the strongest. There is nobody cooler or stronger than him in our age group." Naruto let the insult slide for now. The consequences are always the things that let someone change his mind afterwards. "I'm the same age as you all and I doubt that he could beat me. I don't know what importance coolness has, but it sure isn't important while fighting an enemy." The rest of the table, minus Kakashi and Shikamaru, stared at him with mouth agape. "Baka. You are obviously 14, maybe 15 years old. We are only 12. Anybody could see the difference," Sakura said with an irritated look. "I'm 12, I'm a seal master, so I used one to speed up my growing," Naruto said with a hint of amusement. "He will make sure that this girl suffers later." "Also, how can you be as strong as you say, when you can't even walk over water?" "Something simple like this: learn all Jin in a week after graduation. With this chakra controlling exercise, it will be way more easier to fight longer and make your jutsu stronger," Naruto explained, and the student looked at their sensei for same kind of explanation. "Mama, your teamwork was and is so bad that it didn't give me time to teach you something else. If you worked better together then I would already had taught you that." That was at least a good enough excuse for Naruto to not trip the guy his head off. "You are just lazy, Sensei," Sasuke said and looked at Naruto. "Teach me." It could have been a question, if the boy used the right tone, that is. But the boy used anything but the right tone. His tone was outright demanding and commanding. "Sasuke-san," Kakashi tried to tell the boy to be more polite, but was interrupted. "Shut up, Sensei, you didn't taught us anything." "How I'm supposed to get stronger?" "The boy is obviously stronger than you. He can teach me." Hell is coming for this boy as well. "And what if I don't want to teach you?" Naruto asked with a playful smile on his face. "You have to. I'm the last Takaya. My Sharingan is from most importance for the village." Sasuke smiled. This always worked. "Sharingan, then show them." With that his smile faded and a glare settled. "You haven't awakened them, do you? But you are right, I should teach a Sharingan holder." His glare morphed back to a smirk. "Kakashi, I will train you after you have instructed your students. Make sure to leave a shadow clone with Tizuna-san. We will meet in an hour in clearing 30 minutes north from here," Naruto said as he stood up and made his way to the stairs. But Sasuke stopped. "What the fuck is that? You have to train me." "I'm the last Takaya," and he couldn't finish. "I don't give a damn who you are. All I see is a snotty breath that thinks that he can get anything you want." "Kakashi already has a Sharingan and he is respectful. Something you seriously lack." "Now I want to make something clear. I'm not someone that you can demand something from or worse command something." "Did I make myself clear?" Naruto asked the boy as his chakra exploded. "Yes, sir," Sasuke said with a hate-filled glare. How was it possible that this guy didn't want to help him? The ninjas in the village always helped him. He had to get strong. How else could he take revenge? "Good. Do the dishes when everyone is finished. We don't want to burden our hosts with extra work, do we?" If it was possible then Sasuke would shoot lasers out of his eyes right now. This guy was toying with him, now he had to do dishes. Sasuke fumed when he sat back at the table. He will show the guy that he was doing a big mistake by not training him. Naruto was lying on the water surface of the river in the clearing. He waited for the others to come. He could hear them from a mile away, and that wasn't because he had some sensitive ears. No, they were just this noise on the way. The girl always tried to talk to Sasuke. Shikamaru was complaining about the noise she was making. This was a disaster. Who in their right mind let them graduate? You are on a mission right now, so shut up. Zabuza could be around here and you make so much noise that they would hear you from a mile away, and I mean that literally, Naruto said as they were finally near enough. Kakashi, you will instruct Sasuke and Sakura. I will help Shikamaru, Naruto said as he started to walk to a tree. What, how comes that the dead lust gets taught by you? Sasuke said with a miffed expression. Yay, he isn't worth your time, Naruto. That was it. Not only did they insult Shikamaru, but the girl had the guts to call him by his first name. Golden water exploded from his entire body and surrounded the entire clearing in seconds. It rotated so fast around them that it ripped the ground open. I will make one thing clear. Shikamaru has the most potential in your team. He can learn seals much more faster than I would have thought. Also, if you use my first name again, then I will rip you in half. Only friends can call me that. The last part was muttered, but Shikamaru still heard him and was a little touched. Naruto said nothing when he used his first name. Move your ass, Shikamaru, we don't have all day. This brought him back from his memories, as he went after Naruto. Left behind were three extremely pale people. That same crazy power, Sakura muttered. You two should really learn to be on your best behavior when you speak with him. This is not even 1% of his power. You probably remember the day as the entire sky glowed golden. That was him at the age of 8. Try to imagine how powerful he is today. So again, best behavior around him, Kakashi said in a warning tone. Sakura nodded, but Sasuke was in his own world. This kind of power was what he needed to kill Itachi. This would help him to take revenge for his clan and family. He will definitely make Naruto train him. Maybe if he asked the council to order Naruto to train him, yay, that could work. He would get his power soon. So I will show you how to use chakra to stick on surfaces. Balance is the key. If you use too much chakra and it will push you off. If you use too little and you will not stick. Understood? Sure, Shikamaru replied with bored expression. He waited for Naruto to continue, but the other boy just stared at him. What? He said, getting uncomfortable. When did you slag off this much? Stay straight and replay how you learned it, or do I have to put you over my knee again? Shikamaru went pale, as his body straightened immediately. No, sensei, please continue. Normally teachers would just say that you should run up the 3 to get a feeling, but that mostly works for people with small chakra reverses. Clan children have much larger chakra reserves and that makes it harder to control. Understood? Naruto asked after the explanation. Yes, sensei, with the bigger amount of chakra it will be harder to control. You will see it later. Sakura will probably master it pretty fast. Sasuke on the other hand will take about 2 or maybe 3 days. The same would go for you. But we don't have that much time, so I will help you out with a seal that seals away your chakra and let it slowly return. Questions? Yes, so this seal will help me by sealing away my chakra and returning it in slow portions. But doesn't the returning chakra destroy my control over the already existing? Shikamaru asked with a thoughtful expression. Yes and number. Theoretically you are correct, but practically it will be easy for you to adjust. You see, the seal will let you start with such a small amount that your control will be perfect. You will use this feeling and just adjust the new amount of chakra, so that it feels like before, Naruto explained. I understand, sensei. Good. Hand out. If everything goes correctly, then it should take 4 hours to learn it, Naruto said, as he already draw a seal on Shikamaru's hand. Now wait for 10 minutes until it gives you the first portion of chakra and concentrate it to your feet. The rest is clear, I think. Any last questions before I go to Kakashi? No, all good, sensei, Shikamaru said as he already placed his food on the 3 to be ready. Good, come over when you are finished or if you need help, Naruto said and walked to another free place to wait for Kakashi. Not 10 minutes later came Kakashi. He looked visibly annoyed, probably because a child, on his eyes, was going to teach him. At least he had the decency to be professional in front of him. His back was straight and his head held high. The older generation had been taught right, at least, not like this wimps. Sit down and get comfortable, we need to talk, Naruto said, gesturing to a place besides him. Kakashi had a skeptical expression, but did it nevertheless. I think we had a wrong start. I'm Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, the son of your sensei? Naruto introduced himself. I know perfectly fine who you are. What are you trying to archive with this? Kakashi asked with a suspecting gaze. You don't trust people, do you? Or is it that you are afraid to let someone close to you? This stuck Kakashi hard as he looked at Naruto with a dark gaze. You don't know what you are talking about, boy. Maybe not. I never lost someone close to me like you did, but I never had someone close to begin with. You lost something you loved, a family, but I never had these things. My pain might not be the same, but I sure understand a lot about being alone. You were my father's student and he cared about you. So I will honor him by watching over you. Kakashi's face was priceless. It was probably that a teenager declared to look after him, but who knows for sure? You looking after me? Shouldn't it be the other way around? It should, but you are clearly unstable. I will just check up on you from time to time and see how you are doing. My dad had a soft spot for you and that makes you my responsibility. Kakashi wanted to ask how he knew that Minato and him were close like family. But Naruto knew way more than he should anyway. He had heard rumors that Naruto had played the council numerous times now, that the boy had information nobody else had. A small laugh escaped him. This was just hilarious. Minato's son he should have taken care of, was now looking after him. You know, you are so not like your parents. Minato and Kushina both were always so carefree and only got serious when it was about their work. You look like a perfect copy of Minato. But the way you act is completely different. Kakashi thought out loud, more than he meant to say. It's good that you are fine with me. It's not the same if the help needed physical force to get accepted, Naruto said with a small smile. What could I have done against it? True. Just remember that I will always be there, when you need someone to talk to. I will be staying in the village for a few years, if not longer. You can come to me with anything. Be it just for silent company or a drinking partner. Kakashi couldn't help but laugh. Yay, sure. I will deem my afterlife by taking you, a 12-year-old, into a bar. Your parents would never forgive me something like this. It was just an offer. Now to training. Your fight with Zabuza was pathetic. This eye of yours is the biggest weakness you have right now, Naruto stated, getting a questioning gaze. This eye is powerful, no doubt. It will make you to one of the most powerful ninjas. But right now it's holding you back. You think that just because you have that thing, that you don't have to learn jutsus of your own, Naruto explained, and Kakashi had the decency to look sheepish. This eye takes way too much chakra for the small advantage it gives you. Your body can't even completely follow up with this eye. Zabuza could beat you in that without fancy Sharingan. So I will train you that you can fight that guy without it. Now tell me what jutsus you have in your arsenal, Naruto said. They don't call me the copy ninja for no reason. I have copied over 1,000 jutsus. I don't think we have the time to list them all, Kakashi said. And none of these jutsus are your own. What is your chakra nature? Naruto asked. Lightning. I also have a jutsu of my own. It's Chidori. It fills my hand with Raitan chakra. Lightning. It can cut through almost anything and is an assassination technique, Kakashi explained. That sounds interesting, but we will focus on your speed for now, Naruto explained as he gave Kakashi a piece of paper. His entire body felt heavier the moment he touched it. This is a gravity seal. I will fire attacks at you in the speed Zabuza used. Your task is just to dodge. Kakashi couldn't really ask, because Naruto already started attack him. 2 golden wolves were running after him and he was sure that they would hurt. This was going to be fun. It shows me that someone is reading the latest chapter and not only the start. It was already 2 days since Sasuke started to learn tree walking and he was getting frustrated. Sakura and Shikamaru had both learned it almost instantly. They had continued to run around on the tree to get an even better feeling. He thought, he couldn't even stick to a fucking tree. He had demanded that Naruto helps him how he did it for the lazy guy. Naruto just told him that he should learn to ask right. This was fucking frustrating. He was the last Hokage and couldn't even walk up a tree. How was he supposed to kill Ichi like this? Today the lazy ass even started to walk on water. Kakashi sensei didn't help much either. He was getting trained by Naruto. Sakura was just watching him. He didn't know why the girl always did the minimum training and nothing more. It doesn't interest him that much, to be honest. Shikamaru, you seem pretty comfortable on the water. Shikamaru starlet almost lost his concentration and fell into the river. Yes sensei, it's getting easier as long as I concentrate, Shikamaru answered. Good. Come over for a moment. Shikamaru wordlessly followed the instruction. He knew that Naruto was trying to teach him as much as possible. I will draw a seal on your hand. It's a gravity seal, but it works different from Kakashi's. It absorbs your chakra and gets heavier with that. It will not only train your physical body, but your chakra reserves as well, Naruto explained. He drew a small seal on Shikamaru's hand, who instantly felt how heavy he got. Now go and continue water walking. Shikamaru sighed, but did as he was told. Training continued for the week and Naruto even started to teach Shikamaru seals again. He couldn't believe how 2 years made this kind of difference. 2 years ago Shikamaru was fast, yes, but no genius in it. Now he learned it in ridiculous fast space. Sure, it weren't complicated seals and most of the amateur could do them, but did they understand them like Shikamaru did? Today was Kakashi's shift to watch over Tizuna and the bridge workers. He had taken Sasuke and Sakura with him to not interrupt him. That would be, if it wasn't for some thugs trying to kidnap Tizuna's daughter. It wasn't a problem for Shikamaru to handle them. After some interrogation or more like threats, they got the information that Zabuza didn't really retreat. He waited for the right moment to strike. A moment he wasn't around. It seemed that his employer wasn't that careful as he sent these thugs after him. Shikamaru stayed by the family as he went after Zabuza's head. He was flying on max speed to the bridge. He just kind of became friend, caretaker of Kakashi and didn't want to lose the sky now. He shot chains out of his water and sent them to wrap Zabuza up. Zabuza saw them coming and dodged with ease. One of the disadvantages the Golden Glow had. Surprise attacks were an unthinkable thing to do with it. All powers had its advantages and disadvantages. A jutsu is never perfect. In one way or another, chakra always had a counterpart. The only thing you could do is to hide it to the best of your abilities. Naruto looked to the end of the bridge, as he heard a scream. It seemed that Zabuza had an ally with rather interesting ice jutsu, a bloodline, nor was it a combination of his chakra naturals. Right now it didn't matter, thought. He formed 4 wolves and let them attack the ice structure from the outside. It wasn't long before another figure appeared besides Zabuza. He or she, he wasn't sure, was small and had a hunter-nin mask with a white kimono. I hadn't thought that you would waste your life like this, Zabuza. I thought you said that something like this wouldn't happen again, Naruto said. He could see Sakura running to the downed form of Sasuke. Strongest, as if they are both way too overrated. The boy may be strong, but his attitude and intelligence isn't that good. And I thought that someone so important as you wouldn't hang around this long. It seems that we both are mistaken in that matter. Would you be kind enough to let us go a second time? It was desperate, and if Zabuza thought about it, a pretty dumb one on that. But better try and be dumb than dead. My kindness comes with a price. I want that sword of yours, Naruto said, pointing at the large sword Zabuza had pointed at Kakashi. Zabuza in return could only stare back at the boy. This was crazy. Sure, his sword was a hefty price. It was his pride and partner for years, but it was nothing in exchange for his and Haku's life. If that's what it takes. Zabuza pointed his sword at Naruto. He in return formed a chain that trapped around the sword. Thought at the same time Zabuza was wrapped up from behind. What's the meaning of this? Zabuza yelled at him. He could see how the guy started to panic. It's just to make sure that you won't betray me again, Naruto said, as he lifted Zabuza from the ground to him. You better stop doing that or your master dies here and now, Naruto said, as he looked at the other guy. Girl? Who knows? He formed a few hand signs and placed his hand on Zabuza's back. A small seal appeared. If you betrayed me again, then I will use this seal and kill you from wherever I want, Naruto asked with a smirk forming on his face. I'm always willing to choose the way with the most survivors, but I'm not naive. I can and will have no mercy with these who play with my patience a third time. Understood? Naruto's face had a dark, sinister look. I understand. It was the only thing Zabuza could say. Naruto lowered him to the ground and released him from his chains. He made a hand gesture that signaled that they were free to go, but a small fat guy made his presence known. He talked about how useless Zabuza was, that he couldn't even defeat Same Kano Ninja. His army of thugs seemed to boost the guy's arrogance, as he guy talked about how he never even thought about paying Zabuza and that he would kill them all. It wasn't long after that bloodbath took place and Gatta's head rolled over the ground. It took Tizuna about 2 weeks to end the bridge with the help of Team 7, Zabuza and Haku. That was the boy's name. had already left the land of waves. Of course not without a warning from Naruto to not test him again. "All of you shut up," Naruto said. His head was aching from all the noise. Sakura was trying to get Sasuke into a conversation. Sasuke in return ignored her and asked him to train him. Shikamaru was complaining about how long they were traveling already. At least Kakashi was quiet, but that was more thanks to the book Naruto gave him back. He couldn't help but sigh. This is the future of the village or more their downfall. How on earth could the Hokage let this happen? Sure, it's a time of peace, but this is too much. He could understand that the old man wants that children have their childhood, but this is too much. It will get the kids killed faster. They exchange a long and tiring life for a happy and short one. A smile formed on his face as he saw the walls of Konoha. He let the guards check him quickly. "Anime-san, it's nice to see you again. How was your travel to Ushio? Have you found new seals?" One of the guards, Katetsu Hagane, asked with a smile. Naruto always greeted them with a friendly smile and never shoved any kind of impatience. "Ah yes, I did. Thanks for asking, Hagane-san." Now this surprised them. How they know him was clear. Thought how Naruto know his name. "Thanks for your hard work, you two. I will see you around," Naruto said, as he left for the Hokage office. The village haven't changed that much. It looks a bit more dilapidated as before. Seems like the village could need a restoration. But something like this would cost too much and the civil council wouldn't agree to such a high expenditure. It just wasn't worth the cost for them. It was funny that Hiruzen let the civil council have this much power. Sure, they are at a time of peace, but he was losing control over them. How lucky he was that something like this wasn't his problem. He will just have to see them in the meeting once a week. How he will become to regret these words. The people still stared at him, and this time he didn't even had his wolves with him. He ignored them, as he made his way to the Hokage Tower. He wasn't sure what kind of life he will have now. Outside was fun, but he was going to stay here. He will teach Shikamaru for the time being, maybe find a house for him. He knocked at the door after the assistant said that the old man was free. "Come in," came a tired reply from the inside. The first thing Naruto observed was that the Hokage looked old. He knew that Hiruzen was old, but he meant his energy. The man looked like he was done with life. He definitely needed a break. "Hokage-sama, I'm back from my stay," Naruto said. He still didn't bow. Thought the Hokage didn't seem to mind it that much, as he just smiled back. "Naruto, you have grown a lot." It wasn't the answer Naruto had predicted, but it wasn't a bad one either. "Time does these things to young people," he shot back, but the Hokage didn't react that much. "Nevertheless, I will be staying in the village." It seemed that this comment pleased the old man. "That's good to hear. It was troubling that our strongest force wasn't around." Naruto really didn't know what to say. If he wanted more firepower back, then you should order his students back. The 3 legendary Sannin, one is as strong as a cage and would give a strong image to the outside. "So, what are your plans now?" Hiruzen asked. "I will have to find an apartment and some supplies first. It will take some time to getting used to live in a village," Naruto answered. The door opened as he wanted to continue. Coming in was the bickering Team 7. This was annoying. "I will see you at the council meeting this weekend, Hokage-sama," Naruto said as he left the old man with this mess of a team. Naruto had used the remaining 4 days to find himself a nice apartment. He would get a house when he was sure what he will do in the future. He was sure that the council wouldn't want to let him out of the village in the near future. He will just teach Shikamaru for the time being. Maybe make some new seals. Today was his first council meeting since he left, and it will be his first normal meeting. He will just sit there and hear them out, to get a feeling how the things work here. Sure, he had the memories of his dad, but times have changed and he had to get his own experience. The evening of the Saturday came faster than he thought. Some of the old geezers looked annoyed that he was back. He didn't let it bother him and just kept quiet through the meeting. They mainly talked about inner politics of the village, clan business, food supply for the winter, security and mission. It was all in all pretty decent and professional. They didn't yell or argue without a good reason. It seemed that he had them just trialed up the last times. Now to a more personal matter. Yesterday Sasuke applied for an apprenticeship by Namikaze-san. It seems that the two have met in his last mission and that the boy wants to learn from you. Thought we will have to discuss the time period of this, Midokado Hamura said. He was an old man, who is one of the elders of the village. "We don't need to talk about the time period. I don't take him. Please continue with the next point. Naruto could see veins bulge by some of the older ones. I'm sorry Namikaze-san, but could you explain why you don't want to take him? Utatane Koharu said. She was also an old woman, in the position of an elder. They were both teammates of Hiruzen, so it's probably favoritism by Hiruzen. I just don't really like him. He is disrespectful and demands things from me. He also thinks that the name Uchiha gives him some kind of free pass. But the most important reason is his high flight chance. He also doesn't even know the basics of Fuyu and Jutsu, Naruto explained. These are reasonable reasons and I can understand them, but think about it. The Sharingan is from high importance for this village. It will demonstrate our strength. When the future Uchiha clan head was taught by you. This time it was Danzo. He wasn't sure why the elders so desperately wanted him to teach the Uchiha boy. He can come to me if he understands the basics in sealing. Until then I had already decided that Shikamaru Nara will be my apprentice and assistant. He is far more advanced and learns very quickly, so there shouldn't be a problem. Shikaku looked at him with interested eyes, but kept quiet. Is the boy that talented in the art, and when did he ask you to become his teacher? We didn't require any formal proposal. Naruto couldn't help but laugh a little. No, he didn't ask. I would get gray hair before that lazy ass does something on his own. I will just take him. If the boy didn't even ask you, then Sasuke. Naruto just raised his hand to silence Danzo. As I said, the boy has a way to high flight chance. He doesn't respect me, nor does he have basic knowledge in the art. Is there any kind of real reason that is keeping you so stubborn? Naruto asked, and Danzo just stared back in silence. Thought so. Now it's of course clear, but should I hear that you try to get information about my techniques from my apprentice, then there will be heads rolling. After that the meeting continued without much trouble. Security was still a trouble it seemed. The Uchihas did their job really good. The new police force was inexperienced. They didn't have the manpower nor the knowledge over most of the criminal organization structures. Another important point was food supply for the winter and their storage. It wasn't like that they didn't get any food in the winter, it was just that it was very limited. Private persons didn't had a problem with it, but orphanages, hospitals and others the village found it had. The price for food would raise with the winter, something these facilities couldn't afford. He could help them with his new storage seal, but he will wait and see how things will work out without him. They still had at least 4 months until the winter starts. Time will tell how his life will be. Shikamaru, come down now, here is someone waiting for you. Shikamaru heard his mom yell from downstairs. He wasn't sure who would want to meet him. His friends were on a mission. A smile formed on his face. Only one person was left in the village that would come by. Shikamaru Nara, you are starting today, my apprentice and assistant. It was the first thing Naruto said. The color left his face, as he paled. Shikamaru shouted as fell to the floor.